I'm so emotional right now because all last year, with all these racial injustices going around, there was no one actually helping in the fight against racism. All these billion-dollar corporations, they weren't trying. All they were doing was posting pictures saying, "We hear you and we listen," or they were just putting black people in random spots. That's not gonna help us. That's not gonna help the fight against racism. I was about to leave the country. I was about to leave because I can't live in a world where I can't jerk off with my white neighbor. I need to be able to live in a society of equality, and I almost gave up hope on America. But then I saw the University of Michigan come out with this article about how they're in the fight against racism, and one of their steps to fight racial injustice is to ban the fucking word brown bag because it's offensive. This list was intended to more effectively communicate with customers by using specific language that does not harm morale or inadvertently exclude people from feeling accepted to foment a healthy and inclusive culture. Already this shit makes no sense, because who is in Michigan who is so sensitive that as soon as they hear brown bag, their morale is hurt and they're going to get all their buddies together and demand that this person be canceled that they said brown bag? Who is going to be so hurt that when they go to a gas station in Michigan and they go buy some cheap alcohol and then that person behind the counter puts the alcohol in a brown bag and they get immediately offended because they saw a brown bag and then they demand that their gas station be shut down? Who is on the University of Michigan's campus that thinks for a fucking second that a brown bag is offensive? Because if that's the case, these motherfuckers should haunt you. A Words Matter task force at the IT department at the University of Michigan last week released a hefty list of terms it deems offensive and offered alternatives to be used instead. Among the list of offensive terms were picnic and brown bag. Stop right there. I've lost all respect for this group of nerds that calls themselves the Words Matter Task Force, because I can just picture them all just sitting in a big old circle just debating about how certain words make me feel bad and how they make me feel like I'm not wanted in the conversation. And a lot of the words probably won't matter. They're probably just casual shit that people say in sentences just to keep the conversation going, but it just makes me feel bad. I'm excluded and my morale is hurt. Therefore, brown bag, gone. White bag, gone. From now on, we're going to use plastic holders or food grasping items. I don't know what you would call it, because anything with color means it's all racist at this point. The task force said that using inclusive language is imperative to create a culture where everyone feels welcome, valued, and respected. Okay, so I will ask again, what culture are you trying to create where these motherfuckers are so sensitive to the word brown bag? Because I'm sitting here thinking, what racial incident could happen if someone said brown bag? What about that would make me, a black individual, jump up and scream racism? What about that would get me to protest that an individual said something that harmed me? What about brown bag makes me feel like I'm not welcome and my culture is not welcome? Because if that's how we're really going about it, then all McDonald's that put the food in a brown bag need to be shut down immediately, because I don't feel like I'm welcome in a store that has me some hot and spicy McChickens or 10-piece nuggets or fries that go stale after 10 minutes. Like, McDonald's, canceled right now. As alternatives for these offensive words, the task force suggests that lunch and learn for brown bag and gathering for picnic. So I'm supposed to go around the University of Michigan, and instead of telling people that I put something in a brown bag, they want me to sit there and say that I put something in the lunch and learn. Do you know how confusing and fucking idiotic that sounds? For me to sit there and say, hey guys, I got my lunch and learn. Do any of you else have your lunch and learns with you? Can we get started now? Imagine how stupid I'm gonna look. And if you're so pressed about brown bag, again, what are you gonna call these motherfuckers? Are you gonna call these ass wipers? Are you gonna call these finger guides? What the fuck are you gonna call these? Because these are brown, and obviously the racial injustice is just attacking me right now. So please, like, at some point, we're going to have to carefully and consistently explain these changes to what we find offensive, because if a regular person like me sees this, they're going to fucking laugh at how stupid this is, especially the replacement words you have for the things you call offensive. I can 1000% confirm that this is the activism black people wanted. When you see people protesting the killings of black individuals, this is what they wanted. Words like brown bag and picnic to be banned from college campuses. That's going to create a more inclusive society. That is going to get people to come together, hold hands, and participate in a big old circle jerk. Getting rid of the words brown bag and picnic will be a marking point, a staple in history. When you are in your 80s and you have grandkids and you tell them about the fight against racism, just remember that the University of Michigan's IT department, the group of individuals that's supposed to be fixing my fucking computer because there's 11 viruses on it from me watching hentai, they are the ones who brought upon the change that saved America from itself. All of the racial divide, it was saved by the University of Michigan. And you remember that. I'm making sure that they put that in the history books. Move over Trump, move over Biden, move over Obama. It is the University of Michigan who has ended racism. And with that, my cisgendered white Americans, I wish you all adieu. Subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitch, follow the podcast on Spotify, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you, University of Michigan.